And yeah, that's what happened. So being, there are many frustration. This kind of system can bring a lot of frustration in people. And this young man wanted to do another life. So he also tried to have this opportunity in Gabon. And yeah, my parents hire him. Yeah, they hire him for the garden at home and stuff like that. Um, when Macias was overthrown, okay, Macias was overthrown by his own nephew, the present president of Guinea Equatorial, Teodoro Obiangema Mbazogo, was his nephew. So he's the cousin, the first cousin of the lady that I talked about in my previous video. If you want to read her story, her book, you can buy it, you can purchase it. It's interesting. It's not, this is a story that are not really often known. So it was overthrown by him. And then, you understand that it was a change in a way. It was like another era started in Guinea Equatorial. So many people from Guinea Equatorial left Gabon. Most of them who were in Gabon left and they went back to their countries. And yeah, you have to admit that as a immigrant, sometimes not really legally because of the way they weren't treated that really nicely in my country. You have to be honest on that. Many of them complain about the way people in my country were treating them. You know, it's difficult. Anyway, I don't want to get into this discussion because it's going to be long, but it was not a pleasant, uh, a pleasant experience for them when they live in my country. Some of them probably, but most of them were not that, because when things was happening, they were always accused of stuff. That's what happened when you have foreigners. It's sad that we are Africans. Sometimes we do that to each other. So the young man was still working. My mom told, when everybody knew about that, my mom told the young man, I think it's about time for you to go back home, because yeah, he need to have a job. He need to work. He need to make money. And he was happy, like, okay, I'm making some money, like other people have a job. And then my mom told him, no, you're not going to stay here just working. Macias is overthrown. The system has completely changed. You think that it's going to change. You have a new president now. It's time for you to go back home. And you have to go back to school. And the young man said, no, man, I don't want to go back to school. I already have a job here. I don't feel like. My mom insisted. She told him, no, you have to go back to school. Go back to your country. You can do the high school diploma again. And you think that this time is going to be different since the country is now changing. And my mom purchased some material for school, whatever she could, for him, as a symbolic act that he need to go back to school. He was still like, oh no, but then yeah, he respect what she said. What happened? He left. He went back to Guinea Equatorial. He was very young. I say a teenager. We didn't hear from him anymore. One day I was coming home from my high school. When he was there in my country, I was a child. I was like a baby. So I never met him. What I saw is like I saw some books in Spanish and his name was written. And I knew that, he was among those who were brought by my parents. But the only one who was actually writing, that's how you know that he was educated, because he was the only one who was writing in papers, in books, because there was his names and stuff like that in Spanish. This one was actually educated. He was going to school. He was educated. He had the high school diploma. So he was, at the time he was disappointed because they stole it from him. So one day I don't know when, late 90s, early 2000, I think, I was going back home. And I was opening the gate of my home. I saw a taxi parking not far from our entrance. No, our not far from our home. A man coming, he was really dressed up like, wow. You could know that the man has money by the way he was dressed. But then he had an accent. I heard like a Spanish accent because yeah, they speak Spanish. I heard like a Spanish accent and an accent from my native language because yeah. So he called me. Excuse me, lady. Is it the home family? He gave the name of my family. I said, yeah, it's here. And he told me, look at me. He said, oh my God, you are all grown up. I didn't understand. Say, what's going on here? I said, you were a baby. I mean, I could say he was emotional, you know. So I'm going to have emotion myself. I'm going to have emotion myself because the story was just so. So he told me, you are gone. I saw you were a baby. I say, I don't know. Is your mom here? I say, I think she came back from work. So he entered the gate with me, he went home, and he saw my mom and he screamed. My mom was like, is it you? And she said his name. I'm not going to get his name here because I have to be respectful of people, privacy and stuff. And she said, and then she was like, oh my God, oh my God. Then he said, yeah, this is me. Now I am a successful man. And I didn't understand what's going on. I was still like, what's going on here? Then he told me the story himself. My mom was sitting and he told me the story himself. He said, because your mom told me to go back to school. And she purchased me some stuff. And here I am, just for the symbolic, not everything, but the symbolic, you know, act of saying, go back to school. And today, when I had my high school diploma, when I went back to school, and I was sent to Spain to do my studies. And there I finished my studies at university and everything, and I am a successful businessman. I'm between Spain and Guinea Equatorial. And he said, I want you to come to visit me because you're like a family for me. I want to thank you. You know, people, a good deed is never nothing, you know. Yeah, but mom, we never went to Guinea Equatorial. He tried to call us, he called us again on the phone, but we never went to Guinea Equatorial. Fortunately, I think we lost his number. And my mom was, it's not, she's not someone who will be going, you know, going there. She's a very like simple, no, it's okay. But he said, I want you to come. I mean, me, I could have been going like my boy because we were younger than my mom, but we never did because so many things happened, your life happened, and we lost contact with the man. I wish, I wish I could find him again. His story inspired me so much, and the life lessons I've learned. One is a good deed is never nothing. You know, a good deed is always important. Respect people. You don't know who they are. We don't know who are. In my native language, we have a saying. It goes like, you don't. Everybody was born with different bags. In each of these bags, you don't know where the destiny of that person will lead him. It means that you don't know the future of the person that you are meeting in front of you. You don't know. You never know who is this person that you see in front of you. You know, that person might look like nothing today, but you don't know tomorrow who is that person. That's why it's important to always treat people with dignity and respect. Three, again, education is important. He went back to school. He didn't have much, but school was his only way out. And then he became a businessman, successful businessman. And four, I think, not the least, It's always be grateful, gratitude, and loving each other. It's important. I hope this story inspire you, and I want to thank my parents because showing that to me set example to me a lot. That's why sometimes I'm careful not to be rude or disrespectful to people unless you are being very abusive to me. No, I'm not gonna let myself being treated anyhow. If you are abusive, you are a mean person or a toxic person to me, no, I'm not gonna take it. But when it comes to life in general, I want to thank my parents. I want to thank my mom. She has been a role model for me in that sense. And yeah, thank you for watching.